The radar lit up. Seconds later, the USS Carney was under attack. In the dead of night, dozens of enemy drones and missiles were approaching. But the crew didn't flinch. This wasn't just survival, it was a masterclass in modern naval warfare. In this video, we'll take you inside one of the most intense and coordinated assaults ever launched against a United States warship in the Red Sea. You'll see how the USS Carney, equipped with the Aegis Combat System and a battle-hardened crew, repelled a storm of precision-guided threats from Houthi forces. We'll break down the weapons, tactics, and real-time decisions that turned a potential disaster into an exemplary defense, and what it means amid rising regional tensions. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us until the end, because what you're about to hear may change the way you see global power. Up next, we'll give you the details you need to understand what's really happening and help you stay one step ahead. This is News for Dummies, where we explain everything to promote your critical understanding of current events. In the early hours before dawn, the USS Carney's radar lit up with multiple incoming threats. Within seconds, the United States destroyer was under a coordinated attack of drones and missiles launched by Houthi rebels from Yemen. This clash in the dark waters of the Red Sea wasn't an isolated incident, it was part of a series of attacks that have escalated regional tensions since late 2023. The USS Carney, also known as DDG-64, already tested in previous engagements, became the main target. Drones and anti-ship missiles launched from Houthi-controlled zones in Yemen were heading directly toward the vessel. But this time, the volume, speed, and coordination of the attack were, well, different. The bridge crew didn't panic. They didn't flinch, because the Carney was ready. The assault began with a swarm of unmanned aerial vehicles. These weren't ordinary drones. They were fast, pre-programmed, and designed to overwhelm defenses. Almost simultaneously, radar signals showed multiple incoming cruise missiles. This wasn't harassment. It was a deliberate attempt to damage or destroy a United States warship. The Carney's crew acted quickly and precisely. Within seconds, the ship's sensors fed data to the Aegis Combat System. Threats were prioritized, tracking solutions were calculated, and then came the response. SM-2 and SM-6 missiles launched vertically from their tubes, roaring at supersonic speeds toward the incoming targets. In the final seconds, the Phalanx CIWS, a high-speed radar-guided Gatling gun, activated, spraying a storm of tungsten rounds to intercept anything that slipped through. The sky lit up with flashes and trails, explosions burst over the ship, alarms sounded, but only briefly. In less than 2 minutes the attack was over. Debris fell into the sea, the entire crew was safe. The Carney had held the line once again, this time against one of the most coordinated Houthi attacks to date. The USS Carney, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, has been at the center of these operations, facing and neutralizing threats with remarkable effectiveness. Equipped with the Aegis Combat System and SM-2 and SM-6 missiles, the Carney has successfully intercepted more than 45 weapons launched by the Houthis, including cruise missiles, anti-ship ballistic missiles, and unmanned aerial vehicles. At the heart of these defensive operations is the Carney's Combat Information Center, or CIC, where officers and technicians constantly monitor threats using satellite data, drones, and onboard sensors. Coordination and speed in decision-making at the CIC have been key to the Carney's effectiveness in these encounters. On the night of the attack, at the heart of the USS Carney's defense was the Combat Information Center, a dimly lit space filled with monitors, radar screens, and alert sailors. That's where the battle unfolded in real time, before it ever reached the deck. Satellite, drone, and onboard sensor data was compiled and analyzed there. Once the threat was identified, decisions were made in that room by officers and technicians who tracked every signal and trajectory. They monitored electronic warfare data and ensured all countermeasures were in sync. The focus within the CIC is the result of constant training, because when the alarm sounded, there was no time to hesitate. Decisions were made in milliseconds. Since late 2023, the Carney has been at the center of Red Sea defense operations. As part of a rotating deployment of United States Navy destroyers, it has intercepted dozens of Houthi threats, among them ballistic and cruise missiles, suicide drones, and even suspected loitering munitions. Since its deployment to the Red Sea, the Carney has engaged in 51 confrontations with Houthi forces, the highest number of direct United States Navy engagements with an enemy since World War II. These actions have been recognized by top military leadership, with decorations awarded to the crew for bravery and combat effectiveness. The situation in the Red Sea remains volatile, with the Houthis stepping up attacks not only against commercial vessels, but also against United States naval assets. In response, the United States has expanded its naval presence in the region, including deploying carrier strike groups and coordinating with international allies like the United Kingdom and France for joint patrols. Behind the attacks are the Houthi rebels, a Shiite militia supported by Iran, operating from Yemen amid the ongoing civil war since 2014. While they are the material executors of missile and drone launches, multiple Western intelligence agencies, including the Pentagon and Israel's Mossad, have indicated the Houthis do not act entirely independently. Iran, their main backer, provides advanced weaponry, tactical training, and electronic warfare advice. Analysts interpret these attacks as part of Tehran's broader strategy to destabilize Red Sea trade routes, pressure the United States and Israel, and expand regional influence via non-state allies. The USS Carney, which is designated as DDG-64, is a guided missile destroyer from the Arleigh-Burke class. It was launched back in 1993 and, has been continually upgraded for air, surface, and submarine defense missions. It's equipped with the Aegis Combat System, which integrates Spy-1D radars and fire control systems that are actually capable of tracking over 100 targets at the same time. Its armament includes SM-2 and SM-6 missiles for long-range air interception, Tomahawk missiles for precision land strikes, Mark 46 anti-submarine torpedoes, Phalanx CIWS for close-in defense 127mm naval guns, and also electronic decoy launchers. The SM-6 missiles have been crucial in intercepting hypersonic threats, even at variable altitudes and during evasive maneuvers. In contrast, the Houthis have deployed Iranian-origin anti-ship ballistic missiles like the Noor, which is actually a copy of the Chinese C-800-2, as well as Quds-1 cruise missiles, Birkin-2H ballistic missiles, and Shahed-136 and Samad-3 attack drones. These drones are capable of flying over 1,000 kilometers with explosive payloads and GPS navigation. Some of these drones have been modified with AI-assisted visual guidance, making them even harder to detect. According to Pentagon sources, the Carney has intercepted over 40 drones and missiles since arriving in the region. No other recent United States warship has been so intensely tested in combat in such a short period. Following repeated Houthi attacks, the United States Navy didn't stay on the defensive. Precision airstrikes were launched against key Houthi positions in Yemen. Radar installations, missile launchers, and drone depots were targeted. These strikes were supported by carrier-based FA-18s and MQ-9 Reaper surveillance drones. According to CENTCOM, dozens of critical targets were destroyed in recent operations. The message is clear: any attack on United States forces will be met with overwhelming force. This latest attack comes amid a broader escalation. The Houthis, backed and armed by Iran, have stepped up efforts to strike not only commercial ships, but also United States naval assets. Though they claim to be responding to regional tensions, their weapons and tactics point to a coordinated strategy to pressure the United States' presence in the area. International cooperation is also increasing. The United States Navy is now coordinating with allies like the United Kingdom and France, who have contributed warships and reconnaissance capabilities for joint patrols. The mission is no longer just about defending United States ships. It's about protecting freedom of navigation in one of the world's most strategic choke points. The USS Carney, far from being a passive defender, is now a frontline warship in a rapidly evolving maritime conflict. It has become one of the fleet's most experienced vessels, with a crew hardened by repeated engagements and long days under constant threat. And while the Carney has survived this assault, one thing is clear: this is far from over. The Red Sea is no longer just a trade route, it's an active war zone. The United States Navy remains on high alert, with systems active, eyes on radar and fingers on launch buttons. Every radar signal is investigated, every drone is treated as a threat. The USS Carney continues its mission to patrol, protect and respond to threats in one of the world's most strategic maritime corridors. Its experience and rapid response capability have made it a key element in the defense of freedom of navigation in the Red Sea. Now it's your turn. If you found this analysis revealing, leave us a comment with your opinion on this conflict. Do you believe the Houthis truly have the power to sink a United States aircraft carrier? What would be the consequences? Subscribe if you haven't already, because we'll be following the evolution of this story minute by minute. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next video, where we'll analyze which other powers might get involved and how this conflict could escalate into a global crisis. And if you want to learn more about how the Houthis were formed and their role in the Yemen war, click now on the video on screen. I promise, it will surprise you.